Hello everyone, my name is Nick Neidenbach and welcome to the first in a series of videos that will demonstrate some of the methods I use for creating prop weaponry. This demonstration is going to show you how to create Cypher's Hyperion Gunblade from the Final Fantasy VIII video game. This right here is an example. I created this several years ago using the techniques that I'm going to show you in these videos. And I've refined the techniques since then, so I think we're going to come up with much better results than this. There are some higher res photographs of this prop on the website, as well as the plans we're going to use for assembling this. The plans I created using Adobe Illustrator, but you can use any sort of vector art program or even drawing it freehand. But I put it on paper, printing it on 8.5 by 11 sheets, which we have right here, and assembling that on the wood that we're going to cut to make the weapon out of. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble the pattern that we printed out on 8.5 by 11 paper onto the wood material that we're going to use for the main part of the blade. The design is spread out among several sheets of paper.
The materials and tools we'll be using for this project are a sheet of 1/2-inch thick birch plywood, letter-size paper for our pattern, spray tack adhesive to attach the pattern to the plywood, clear tape, a jigsaw or handsaw, a fine detail saw, and clamps to attach the wood to the work surface.
So we're going to go ahead and assemble the pattern now. I just match the edges. The important thing is you want to make sure you're printing in tile mode. That will spread your image out at the proper scale for what you want to create. So, as you can see, we finished assembling our pattern, and it begins to take on the appearance of the blade that we want to assemble. So at the moment we're securing the pattern not just with the spray adhesive on the back, and you want to be generous with the spray adhesive, but not use so much that it soaks your pattern. And then I'm using a little bit of Scotch tape just to help adhere the pattern to the wood. I want to talk a little bit about what tools we're going to use for cutting the wood, and a little bit about safety. There's nothing that we're doing here that couldn't be done using hand tools, such as a handsaw or an even more precise handsaw, which doesn't have a blade at the moment, but you get the reference. Hand tools take a lot more effort on the part of the person doing the sawing, and take a lot more time. But they're much safer than power tools. But even so, even if you're using hand tools, you want to take it slowly and make sure you've got plenty of room to work in. I'm going to be using a jigsaw because it's a good power saw for cutting along the complex curves that we have in our pattern. It's very important to clamp the wood to your work surface very securely, so it's not going to go anywhere. And eye protection, extremely important. I can't emphasize this enough. You need to wear eye protection when using any kind of power tool. Jigsaw's ready to go. We've got a nice blade in here. We're going to be following along the path. Going to start here at one tip, trace along this curve and drop this piece of wood off, and then we'll do the more complex cutting around the hilt. So as you can see, we've got the base for our sword completed. We need to get a finer saw to get into some of these corners and around here, so I'll work on that. And then we'll begin to cut the other pieces to build up our hilt. So I hope you'll join us in our next video, where we'll continue working on the Hyperion Gunblade. Thank you.